See ha rum ba pum pum rum. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Toronto, and today is day 16 in the Chasing Cinema's 25 Days of Christmas Movie Marathon. And today I'm going to be reviewing a classic. We're going back old school. I'm going to be doing that a few times in the next 9 days left of this movie marathon, because I do love older films, and I haven't talked about them as much as I would have liked to. The film I'm reviewing today is the 1951 film most of you will probably know as Scrooge. However, in America, when it was brought here, we changed the name to A Christmas Carol. Obviously, there are a lot of variations of A Christmas Carol, but this one tends to be one of the most popular and titled the best version of A Christmas Carol. I have to agree. Though I will say there are a few versions I've not seen, so actually I should take that back. The film stars Alastair Sim, Jack Warner, and Kathleen Turner. Really was kind of an interesting experience for me. So, the thing with films like this is that sometimes they're brought to different companies when they're right for distribution. Sometimes older films like this get through the horrible nightmare of colorization. Now, some of you may have only seen the colorized version of A Christmas Carol from 1951. Which, I'm sorry, I definitely prefer black and white. Whatever was shot in is what I want to watch it in. So I had to hunt down the black and white version, because most DVDs and Blu-rays actually only play the colorized version, which is kind of disappointing. So after some searching, I did find the black and white 1951 version, which is available actually on YouTube, is where I found it. So I know, I try not to watch, I actually watched on the TV though. But I was really disappointed that I can only find it on YouTube. The sound is not as good as the quality of the picture, but the quality of the picture is wonderful, and it's not colorized. So that's a plus. If you haven't seen this film, you can check it out on there. Before we get into my review today, though, make sure to tune into my review yesterday. You click the white eye either up here or up here. A bunch of links will drop down, and you could find my review for the film Jingle All the Way, which stars Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger, as well as you could find my review for A Charlie Brown Christmas the Day Before, all with that white eye. Just click it, all the links will fall down, and you'll be able to click any one you want. A Christmas Carol, the Charles Dickens classic that tells the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, who is a very miserable old man who doesn't like Christmas, who feels like it's just simply there to get in the way of work. He's miserable. He doesn't believe in charity. He doesn't believe in giving to people. He doesn't like Christmas. He hates that people ask for Christmas off. You know, he's just the bitter old man that we've all come to know. I mean, Scrooge is a term that we actually use to this day. Oh, he's a Scrooge, or he's a Grinch, one of the two. Oh, he's a Scrooge, he hates it. And of course, his favorite term, bah humbug. Christmas is bah humbug. And unfortunately, he is visited by the spirit of his old friend, because his only friend, really, and they weren't even like friends, Michael Horden, who plays Jacob Marley, passed away. But the ghost of Jacob comes back and visits Scrooge, played by Alastair Sim, on Christmas Eve, and says, "You know what? You're gonna be visited by 3 ghosts, because I live in this miserable world now where I can't pass on because of how terrible of a person I was, and there's still hope for you, so I'm going to help you find that hope. So you're going to be visited by 3 ghosts." And obviously he's visited by the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas future. And in doing so, he is brought him back to some horrible memories, including the death of his sister, when he had issues with his father. You don't really see that, but you hear a lot about it. You also get to see him check out his associate, or his secretary. I don't know what exactly his term was, but his family, who has a child who's crippled by the name of Tiny Tim. And obviously he's a major player in this movie as well. He can't walk, and he's not due to really live, but, you know, and still his associate still wants to wish him a Merry Christmas. He has a nephew that he doesn't like because it actually killed his sister, giving birth to him, so he blames him for that. And then eventually he is taken to his grave with this ghost of Christmas future. So obviously the very basic story of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, I'm sorry. Getting a little excited because tomorrow, yes, I'm going to be reviewing A Christmas Story. Make sure to tune into that. Best way to do that is hit that subscribe button down here. Sorry. The basic Christmas Carol setup, which we've seen adapted many, many times. At least 4 or 5, if not more. But this version really kind of fall, well, usually most versions all really kind of fall on the shoulders of Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge. And this one, being performed by Alastair Sim, is phenomenal. I mean, it's really, really good how great his performance is in this movie. Now, I think that everything about this movie looks really wonderful. I think it's, definitely one of the truer versions, the most true to the Dickens classic. He just looks so miserable in the first place. He looks angry. He looks bitter. He doesn't look like there's an ounce of happiness in him. However, when he wakes up and, of course, is changed, he also looks like the most happiest man. He looks like those people that are too happy, and it's kind of creepy because of how happy he really is. It's a very beautiful movie. It honestly actually brought me to tears, which is rare with Christmas movies, it seems like, because I don't think I've said that this much in this 16 days until now. But his performance is so wonderful, and everything. I mean, the movie looks beautiful now, and this YouTube version that I watched looks, totally remastered. Very, very great. But the ghosts look all wonderful. I mean, in his journey and the things that are said and how this man became to be so bitter. And it also tells us the theme, of course, that it's never too late to change who we are. It's never too late for anyone. Throughout most of the film, Scrooge, played by Alistair Sim, repeats that it's too late for him. He's too old to change. And this movie proves otherwise. Instead of just being like, I can't change, I'm too old to change. It's just not in me to change. Even though, obviously, the things that he's seeing really, really affect him. The death of his sister is just crushing to him. Seeing his love that he eventually leaves is just crushing to him and really puts him in this really horrible place. And you could kind of see how much pain he's in. The death of his friend Jacob Marley, who came and visited him, and the fact that he was just trying to warn him on his deathbed, we're wrong, and he's just kind of blowing it off. He doesn't even visit him. He goes, someone goes and tells him, you need to go visit Mr. Marley before he passes away at their office. And Scrooge goes, I'll go visit him when we're closed. And, that's the kind of person Scrooge is. And I don't really need to explain it to you because you all, I'm sure, know who Scrooge is, or at least the idea of Scrooge. You may have never seen this movie, but you probably have seen at least one of the adaptations, even if it's The Muppets Christmas Carol, which is also really good. But it just takes this bitter old person and shows them that it's never too late to change, and that Christmas is about doing good for people other than ourselves. And that every day, and there's a really great moment in the film where I also talk about that, it's Christmas does not live in our hearts only once a year. It lives in our hearts for 365. I think if I remember correctly, the quote is talking about Jesus, that Christmas lived in his heart every day, and that it should live in ours every day. Not just one day a year. And that's the kind of message of this movie and Charles Dickens' classic, is to be a good person, to be charitable, to do things for others, to not be selfish. Jingle All the Way, the movie I reviewed yesterday, was about two grown men fighting and hurting and stealing and doing everything in the book to get a toy for their kid. And in fact, they're both away from their child who just wants them to be there. Now, I'm not trying to make that movie sound like horrible or really depressing because it's a lot of fun. But if you think about it, like that mentality, this movie just says spend your money on someone who needs it and spend time with people you care about. The associates, his associate and his family who has Tiny Tim, there's a perfect example of that. They don't have much, but they have each other. He wishes the person who is so bitter and mean to him good health. And everyone in his family says no, but he says, no, we got to wish him good health. That's exactly what it's meant to be about. And eventually he would go and give him a huge raise and take care of him. But it's the moment where he changes that's really, really touching. And he scares one of his maids because he's so happy. And she's all freaking out. It's a really funny moment. But the moment where I did get teary-eyed and I did cry is when he finally goes and visits his nephew. And like I said earlier, his nephew is killed. No, I shouldn't say that. He believes his nephew was the reason why his sister died, because she was giving birth to him. And he has had a problem with him ever since. And his nephew comes in when he's a bitter old man, says, come to my Christmas dinner anyway. I don't care if you like Christmas or not. You're invited. And he, of course, says, get out of here. I don't want none of that nonsense. But he goes, he sneaks in on them all. And he's just so happy to see his uncle. He's like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. He hugs him. But everyone else isn't as forgiving. And his nephew's wife looks up at him, and she's just kind of hesitant. And he walks up to her and he goes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being a bitter old fool who didn't have eyes to see, didn't have ears to listen. And they just have this really beautiful moment, and then he dances with her. And I'm getting emotional just talking about it. I mean, it's just a really powerful, effective moment. I mean, this film was wonderfully directed. It captures the heart and story and theme of this movie perfectly. And it is masterfully led by Alastair Sim. If you've not seen this version, once you're done with this video, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, give me a little comment, and then go up to the search bar, type in A Christmas Carol, Alastair Sim, 1951. And it's a black and white version. You can watch it. I'm telling you, it's worth it, guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. 80-something minutes. I recorded it on television because I don't own it because all the versions are colorized. I recorded it only to find out that I recorded the colorized version because the black and white version was being played, and I was real upset. But I found this version, and it is wonderful. It is so heartwarming and beautiful. And, like, you know, I know that I've talked a lot about the silly world of Christmas these past couple days. You know, Polar Express, I'll Be Home for Christmas, The Ref, Bad Santa. You know, everything that I've kind of tackled has been silly and fun. Yeah, a little bit heartwarming, but nothing like really emotional. And my favorite Christmas films, which I'll be getting into closer and closer as we go, are really like home-hitting and really heartwarming and beautiful. And this is one of them. A really, really beautiful movie. And I hope you guys all can take time to go check it out. If you've seen this version or like another version or you want to talk about it or don't like it, let me know down here in the comment sections what you have to say. I'm interested in reading all of those. A great way to never miss any of our videos, hit that subscribe button right down here. You can tune in tomorrow as day 17 has arrived, and I'll be reviewing 1983, A Christmas Story, again about a boy who wants a toy. But we're going to talk about that movie, which I think is both beautiful and fun and really holds Christmas spirit as well. But if you want to know my full review, tune into that tomorrow. Again, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on it. Guys, I've been talking about it all month. Mrs. Claus and the Frostmen. Wonderful children's book written by Sam Mallory, illustrated by Eric Moore. Check out the description box for details. You can find it on Amazon, or if you're a Las Vegas local, go to 9770 South Maryland Parkway, Suite number 5. You can pick up your copy. Wonderful stocking stuffer or a Christmas gift for the youngsters. Beautiful book, very original. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Remember, give me that thumbs up before you go YouTube this movie, and that's going to be it for today. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. My name is Jacob Toronto, and please continue chasing cinema. Many adaptations of A Christmas Carol, but this is I usually claimed to be the most praised version of A Christmas Carol. Stars Alastair Sim, and that's kind of what really focuses on here in this film.